Welcome to the SPE Podcast, powered by the Society of Petroleum Engineers. You're listening to the September 2023 episode of the SPE President's Podcast, Creating Our Energy Future, with incoming 2024 SPE President Terry Palisch. And now your moderator, Director of SPE Magazine's Pam Bogie.
Welcome to the Society of Petroleum Engineers Podcast with our 2024 President Terry Palisch. I'm Pam Bogie, Director of SPE Magazines, and Terry joins me today to share his thoughts about being named President with the official passing of the baton from 2023 President Med Kamal at our annual technical conference and exhibition in San Antonio in October. Terry is the Vice President of Technology and Engineering at Carbo Ceramics in Richardson, Texas. He began his career with ARCO, during which he served 10 years in Alaska and 4 years as a Senior Petroleum Engineering Advisor in Algeria. He joined Carbo in 2004, and in his current position leads a team of technologists developing and championing new products and services and advising clients on completion and fracture optimization. Terry has been an SPE member for more than 40 years, serving in various roles, including past chairman of the SPE Dallas section. He has been the past chair of the ATCE technical program and the former SPE completions technical director. He is an SPE distinguished member and received the award for distinguished service as well as the SPE Mid-Continent Regional Completions Optimization and Technology Award and the Regional Service Award. In 2013, he was named one of the top 15 best engineers by the Texas Independent Producers and Royalty Owners Association. And in 2015, he was named the SPE Dallas Section Engineer of the Year. He has authored more than 50 SPE technical papers and holds several patents. He holds a bachelor's degree in petroleum engineering from the University of Missouri-Rolla, now the Missouri University of Science and Technology, and was recently recognized as a distinguished alumnus. Welcome, Terry. It's a pleasure to talk with you today.
Well, thank you, Pam. It's fun to be with you. I'm excited to kick off this series that we've discussed doing, and hopefully the members will find it useful. But again, I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to talk to you.
So that our members learn a bit about you and a little bit more about your background, let's begin with key issues you'll emphasize as the 24 SPE President. You've selected Creating Our Energy Future as your theme. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, great question. So, over the course of the last 8 months or so, I've had the just distinct privilege to meet with multiple sections and student chapters. I've seen anniversary celebrations. I've led opening sessions at 50th anniversary at SPI DC. I've met with, I've hosted awards presentations. And one of the things that is just really exciting to me is that our members and our students, they're excited about the petroleum engineering profession that they're in, and they're excited about our industry. But at the same time, they also recognize that things change, and that while oil and gas is going to be critical to the future, they also want to know kind of what is their place going to be, particularly in the younger members, and where are we headed. And so, I chose Creating Our Energy Future. I thought about your and my and things like that, but really it's our. And it really kind of has a twofold meaning to me. First is you and I and the members, the membership. We want to create our energy future. We want to understand how we're going to thrive and how we're going to excel and how do we participate. And we do that via our SP membership. Perhaps we can talk a little bit more about it, but I kind of liken it to a gym membership. It's been very impactful to my professional career, and I think that it's important for the members to treat their SP membership like a gym membership. There's many things to offer at the gym, and you're working on your personal well-being and your health, and SPE allows you to work on your professional development and your professional well-being. So the first part of that Creating Our Energy Future is our future as members in the oil and gas industry, and how do we thrive? And what does SPE help with that? How does SPE help? But the second part of that is SPE's future, our future as SPE, as a society. So, of course, the board continues to work on that. I'm excited. Mark Rubin set a wonderful foundation for us, and now we have Simon Seaton coming on as our new CEO. And I'm excited for where we go next. How do we continue to grow our membership? How do we continue to meet our members' needs? And it's going to take not only our ideas, but it's going to take the members' ideas and the input from everybody, because again, we are a member organization and a member society, and we are here as SPE to meet the needs of the members. And so kind of just to recap, creating our energy future is our being, how do we thrive in the industry, in our career, but then also how does SPE move ahead?
Well, and along the lines of looking toward the energy future, another component of that is the SPE Board of Directors approved its strategic plan just this past January. That plan also looks ahead and plans SPE's role in approaching the future and the industry. Could you share a bit about the process behind developing that plan and some of the key takeaways?
Sure. So, for those that aren't aware, every 3 to 5 years, the board sits down, our board and senior staff sit down and develop a strategic plan and relook. And this particular plan, we got started on it in roughly Q3, Q4 22 last year. And towards the end of the year and beginning of 2023, we rolled it out. And really the process, it starts with an assessment of the current environment. And not just the current environment of what we're in, but also what is the current environment that their members find themselves in. So quite a bit of data gathering and information gathering is done with the membership. And this time around, what we found is that the members are concerned about 5 things. I mean, they're concerned about how are we as technologists going to continue to produce more and more oil and gas is going to be needed? And, secondly, how are we going to implement new technologies? What are going to be the new technologies that help us do that? Third being, what is our place in the energy transition? And then last 2 are, just again, how do we continue to attract students and others to our profession? And then, of course, the ongoing image with the public. Nothing was surprising, probably, and maybe some of it's not even new, but it's always good to ground yourself in kind of what is the current environment. And then from there, we developed and looked at the mission. Does the mission still meet those the needs of the members? Does the vision, are our core values still in place? So we did actually make a reasonable modification to our mission this year. Last time we went through this process, we added a few words, but this year we kind of reorganized it. But it's still generally the same. It's still to provide technical information, disseminate technical information, and help our members excel in their profession. And then finally, the meat of it then becomes the strategic plan becomes identifying, what are the goals and the following objectives for implementing what do we see as our strategic goals. We did identify our key stakeholders, and the goals have to be associated with these key stakeholders. Those key stakeholders being our members, first and foremost, but also our members' companies, our sponsors and advertisers, our educators, our academia, and then lastly, our external stakeholders. So as we put together our goals, we have those stakeholders in mind. And I'm not going to go through all the goals, but each of the goals has objectives that were identified as critical. They need to be done now, immediate, they need to be done soon, and then intermediate that would be done later. We are actually in the middle of working through the implementation of the action items as we speak. And we will continue to be working on it. And again, it's a 4 to 5 year plan, so it'll continue to evolve over time. But that's kind of how it works. In the end, though, again, it's how do we continue? It's the second part of our creating our energy future I was talking about, and that's the SPE side of it.
And I'd also like to just add here that the strategic plan is available on the SPE website for anyone who would like to read more about it or see more details about some of the highlights you just provided. Terry, I'd like to ask you too, what would you say to a student who would ask you, why should I go into the oil and gas industry, or why should I go into the energy industry? You yourself have weathered many up and down cycles over your years in the industry. What would you have to offer to a student's question about that?
Great question. Well, first I would say that, every year our world sets new records for energy usage. We continue to grow the amount of energy that we need, and that's going to continue to grow. We have continuing pressure on more and more energy as the population increases, as the underdeveloped world, or say the developing countries, continue to grow. As they strive to meet the energy needs of their population, energy needs are going to continue to grow. And currently, 80% of the energy is provided from fossil fuels. That number has been pretty constant over the last decades, and it's really not going to change anytime soon. And really, in fact, if you look at a lot of projections, you'll see that the incremental energy that's needed is going to be supplied by renewables and non-oil and gas, non-fossil fuels, but they'll still be the base load need. So my point is, oil and gas is going to be critical for the future. That said, we have to be able to not only provide affordable and reliable energy, but also ever decarbonized. And so there's the opportunity for our industry. And so, as I talk to students and young members, I try to explain to them that, you're the future. Those entering our workforce, they need to understand, how are they going to stay abreast of the changing technologies, whether it's in oil and gas extraction or decarbonization. It's important to do that, and I hope that what they'll see is that their SPE membership and the things that the SPE offers can help them meet those needs. They may not need to be experts in everything, but it allows them to understand enough about topics that are important to our day that they can know when to deploy some of these other technologies. So I think that's the advice I give. I mean, the last thing I'll say is that, I try to encourage everybody to do 4 things: learn, participate, volunteer, and lead. Learn as much as you can, right? Whether it's papers or attending conferences or webinars. Participate in your local section, volunteer, and then if you do those things, you'll find yourself leading. And it kind of then leads to what kind of I got out of SPE as well.
Thank you for that. What other thoughts would you like to share? Perhaps some points that we haven't touched on that are particularly important to you, or that you would like to emphasize to the membership, our students, and our younger members too.
Let me start by saying, kind of going back to the gym membership analogy. We all get different things out of SPE. I mean, if we go back to my career and what I've gotten out of SPE, I mean, it's been critical not only for the technical side of things and learning and improving my technical expertise, but it's also been important to my soft skills. So, I mean, writing papers, presenting papers, being a volunteer and a leader. I mean, I like to tell younger members, while we all would like to be a CEO someday, we're not all going to be. And so, for me, SPE has provided professional development. I was leading the Dallas section long before I was a vice president at Carbo. And I think that those experiences have helped me. So I think that going back to the gym membership, we joined gyms, we joined health clubs, probably early in our lives, probably do them for fun. Later in our lives, we do it because the doctor told us we had to. But regardless, we do that for multiple reasons. I might go to ride the spin class. Someone else might go to swim. Someone else might go to the yoga class. But the bottom line is we're doing that for our physical well-being. And I think that we need to, I tend to think treating your SPE membership is the same way. And that's what I want to try to impress upon people over the next, months as we do these podcasts is, as you progress in your professional career, there are things and offerings that SPE have, and probably some that we haven't even thought of yet, that will help you with your career. So for me, for example, early in my career, I just I kind of went to a few section meetings here and there. I went to topical conversations that I thought were important to me. And then as I began to grow, I started attending and writing papers and attending more conferences. And I started realizing how much that helped me technically, but also it helped me learn how to present. It made me learn how to write, technical writing. And then, of course, I also recognized when I came to Carbo that it's important for us to meet clients and go to exhibitions and advertising. And so then it became something a little bit different to me then. And then as I worked through that and I became a part of the Dallas section, quite frankly, somebody came to me and said, would you be interested in serving on this committee? And of course, I said yes, because it's hard to say no in person. And before you know it, I was the section chair. And then that led to other things. So, I mean, I could go on and on this, but the bottom line is, these are the kinds of things that I think that help you personally. And that's what I hope that we can learn more about in the future on these podcasts is just talking about some of the things that we may not realize that SPE offers and how you can specifically help your career, maybe as a corollary, how it helped my career.
Well, thank you, Terry, for giving us a glimpse of your own career, your experience, and also your experience over the years with SPE. I'd like to mention now that Terry will be doing monthly podcasts, which you can find with transcripts on SPE's Journal of Petroleum Technology website and in the monthly digital edition of JPT, available on the first of each month. In October's podcast, Terry, I believe you will share your thoughts about the evolution of the energy transition and what does the future of petroleum engineering look like and how does SPE fit in?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And, I just want to, again, thank everybody, the members, the volunteers. I can't tell you how excited I am when I meet people out in the industry and in our society. And I hope that you will continue to volunteer and that together we can continue to create your and our energy future.
Thank you.
We hope you have enjoyed this edition of the SPE President's Podcast, Creating Our Energy Future with Terry Palisch. New episodes are posted at the beginning of each month, complete with transcripts, on the Journal of Petroleum Technology website at jpt.spe.org.